Hi friends, welcome back to the craft room. This is Revive DIY and Upcycle Designs by Sue. I'm Susan and I'm so glad you're here with me. I wanted to show a quick project to you guys doing a very simple technique that you can do yourself using one of our transfers, some of our chalk paste, and a plain flour sack towel from the Dollar Tree. Now, they do have a couple different kinds. I've had this for a little while, but I'm pretty sure they carry this all the time. It's actually a pretty large size, so I just use it for fabric or material. It's almost a little too thin for me to use as a decorative towel, so I just kind of use this one as material. Now, if you don't want to get this one, and it is lint-free, it says, which is, I guess, a bonus. 100% cotton, but it's just really easy to work with, and you can do chalking projects on this as long as you're not going to wash it and you use it for decorative purposes. Now, they do have this as well. I have picked this up as well. Let's see if I can do it without the glare. So that is also considered a DIY cloth, but it is definitely a different texture. It doesn't have the weave. It's more like a piece of cotton, almost like fabric, just like what you would get cut. So that is available as well. You could probably use that for these types of projects also. It looks like they're demonstrating it using it with tie-dye, but you know, I'm sure you can do any kind of craft with it. But I just wanted to show you two different options. I'm actually just going to work with this one. So let me go ahead and take the tag off of this. And this is over, pretty sure it's in the kitchen section. It may be in the area where they have like some socks and things like that. I really can't remember. But like I said, it's pretty big size. But as you can see, it's very thin. Very thin. It's going to work perfectly for what we want to do it with. So I am actually using, I started to do this earlier. I did a project earlier today using a couple of the transfers from this particular transfer set, which is called, oh, I got the name right here. This is called Spring in Your Step. So we did a couple other upcycles with this. I'm gonna lay this on here just for a second. I pulled this one off and did this one, a Spring in Your Step. And this is, again, a Dollar Tree pail. I've had it actually a couple years. It probably was in the garden section. I'm actually gonna use it on my coffee bar, but I did a project with that. And then I also used another transfer. So I'm trying to get some spring projects done. And I did this project. This was another Dollar Tree surface that I just upcycled, but I used a different transfer for that. Both of these are included in the 50% off. If you have questions about anything I'm showing, please feel free to ask in comments or send me a message. That's what I'm here for. I just want to share some ideas with you and inspire you, and I'm happy to help in any way I can. So this one is one that is also a spring. You know, there's some spring and Easter on both of the transfers that I used today, but this one is obviously a spring one. Okay, bloomer, so cute, and I'm really going to enjoy using this one. But actually, I need to probably keep this up here until I can get my cloth. Since I'm putting it on fabric, I don't need to fuzz it. I started fuzzing it earlier because I was going to put it directly. I have another pail that I want to upcycle, and I was going to put it directly on it, and then I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Let's try it on. I'm going to show my friends how to do it on fabric. So I'm just going to lay this fabric straight out. Obviously, it's not been ironed or anything. I'm just going to try to pick a panel that's not like too terribly wrinkled. Like I said, this has kind of been in my supply bin for quite a while, but you know, it's not going to matter for what we're doing with it. Now, I would take the transfer, not fuzz it because I'm putting it on fabric. I'm not going to use ink though, because I'm not going to wash this. It's just going to be decorative. So you can use chalk on fabric as well, as long as it's just for decoration. And I'm just going to place this, you know, because I want to be able to use as much of this fabric as possible. I'm just going to place this right on, you know, this section here, and I am just going to smooth my transfer out, okay? And make sure I have really good contact with my surface here. Now, it is not going to bleed through because it is not ink, but it is chalk and it's wet chalk and it may go through. So I'm just going to grab just real quick a little piece of, you know, plastic or something to put under here, just so that if I get it on there, it doesn't get on my, what is that called? My mat. Okay, so I am, and I can just quickly take it away, but this is just going to be with chalk. So now we have it placed on here, and I've decided I'm just going to use one color. I know you guys are surprised, but I'm just going to use one color. However, it is a fabulous color. This is our new, one of our new on vogue colors. It's called Wild Lime. Isn't that gorgeous? It's a very yellowy green, but to me that's a very spring color green. I don't know what it's like where you live. Look at that. I don't know what it's like where you live, but you know, I adore spring just because there's so many different shades of green. So this is definitely one of my favorites. Okay, so this is all ready to go. I don't need to do anything else. I'm just going to take my squeegee and I'm going to get my chalk paste and I'm going to just start applying it. Now, this is one of our newer transfers, you guys. So it glides so nicely across the transfer. And you really do use less chalk and less ink when you're doing inking projects. So it's so nice. And they're very easy to clean up as well. And I'm just kind of, you know, just covering all the silkscreen area. This is a very quick project. And I'm lucky because it soaks kind of right in, so I'm not even worried about like how fast I'm moving. It'll go right into the fabric. This is one of those materials that when you're, you know, with some of the items like the metal or wood or other type surfaces, you have to move quickly, or paste and peel is what I call it. And that's like do a section and pull it back so that it doesn't dry in your silk screen. But when I'm working with fabric, I don't worry about it quite as much. So I'm just going back and pulling off any extra because I don't need extra. It only takes a little bit, goes a long way. Okay, put the extra back in my jar. And now this is completely covered. As you can see, it did go through some, see? I'm not really worried about it. It's fine. Just gonna take it off, move that out of the way, and that'll dry anyway. But I am gonna go ahead and do my favorite. We're gonna peel and reveal. So look how cute that is. I'm not sure how well you can see it. It is a fairly light color. Let me go ahead and put this up actually. Get that out of the way because we are gonna dry this before we handle it because it's wet. Obviously it's wet. Chalk. Now it would dry itself, and I actually have the ceiling fan on, but it would dry itself in about 5 minutes or so, but I'm just going to speed up the process so we can go ahead and do what's next on our list. And that is going to be to cut it out, and then we're just going to glue it to this little pail over here. And it'll be cool because, and I'll tell you right now, it looks like I could have done a little bit better job, or it's because of the weave, but I could have gone over it a little bit more in the middle and gotten a better image, but it's done now. I'm not worried about it too much. I probably could have gone over it twice with the chalk paste. So again, the only time you ever need to use ink on anything, whether it's a mug or a fabric like this, or a pillowcase or something like that, is if you think you're gonna wash it. If you're not gonna wash it, you can just use chalk paste. Might just dry the back too, just because I can tell it went through. Now, if you use that other fabric that I showed you, the other dishcloth, or it says DIY cloth, it doesn't say dishcloth, but, or if you have another tea towel or a piece of canvas even, you probably won't have it go through like it did on this one. This is just, with this type of flour sack, it's just much thinner. Okay, that's okay. It's just much thinner. It's got more, you know, more of a weave. So I'm just gonna take my fabric scissors. And I can even change this out, you guys. I'm going to kind of cut it in a circle. I'm not even worried about whether it's, you know, a really good circle, but I'm just going to kind of cut around the outside because I just want it to kind of look handmade, right? That's the whole idea behind DIY, is you want it to look handmade. So I'm not worried about it being perfect. I can get my handle on it, right? It's just so much fabric. Do you see all of that, you guys? This would also work with our, we have chalkable, what is it called? Oh my gosh, I've forgotten what they're called. We made them last year and I can't think of, I am drawing a complete blank. Patches, there you go, patches. We have patches that you can chalk as well. And you can apply to things. You don't have to, you can use chalk on those as well, but it's canvas basically. But I didn't want to waste one when I could do it so inexpensively like this. So there we go. Like I said, I know it might be a little difficult to see with that color. Hopefully you guys can see it, but I know it's a little difficult. I think once we get it on the container, and you guys, these are just, again, Dollar Tree blooms. These were actually from the fall, but I just love them. Aren't they adorable? There's just something fun about them. I don't know that they couldn't be spring because of the colors and because the texture. I don't know. I just think it could. So all I'm going to do is take this, make sure I have the front, and I am just going to, I did not prepare my glue gun, so I'm just going to grab some, you could grab any kind of glue, I think, you guys. I'm just going to grab a couple of these little adhesive dots and put them on the back of this and attach it. And that way I can change it out if I want. In the summer or in the fall, I can change it out. I'm just going to, and I'll use several of these because I have noticed, I did a project with these at Christmas time, and I noticed that they, you know, I mean, they're from the Dollar Tree, so they're not like super duper strong. So I will go around it quite a bit. But if you have a glue gun, you can use a glue gun, or if you have some other adhesive dots. Or even maybe even just like some, I think E6000 is kind of overkill, you know, but if you had some other type of craft glue that you wanted to use, I'm sure that would be fine. lost one. Ooh, I want to grab that guy. We'll do that. Okay, there we go. And then I'm just going to find the seam, make sure I have that in the back, and then we'll just place this on here, guys, and see how it looks. It's just a fun way to add a little bit more character to just a plain surface. So there you go. You see it? I hope you can see that. I think you can see a little bit better once it gets on that pail. But anyway, that's what I got for you. I just thought I would share that. So now I have quite the little collection. This probably won't go on my coffee tray, but, or not my coffee tray, my coffee bar. But I know this is, and then I'm hoping this is. And I'm working on, so we've got several spring items so far, right? We've got a couple, getting some spring in our step, aren't we? And of course this guy, he can go just about anywhere. I could hang him. Isn't he adorable? That is so adorable. Now, what gardener do you have in your life that wouldn't love that? I mean, really, that's adorable. And then I have a tag that I'm working on too, but I haven't finished it. So I hope you guys like this idea. Thanks for letting me come in and share it with you. And I hope it inspires you to give something a try. And come and join me next time. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and be blessed. Bye, friends.